Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of The Power of Surrender with Hugh, where every day we take a card from the deck The Power of Surrender by Dr Judith Orloff, and we discuss one of these cards for your inspiration and food for thought in these challenging times that we're living in. So, today's card is Surrender Unhealthy Relationships. Surrender Unhealthy Relationships. Now, this is a tricky card because obviously I think most people have experience of this. It's not a very easy thing to do. Sometimes we become attached to people and we think, oh, I'm going to be lonely if I'm by myself, or I don't want to have to start a relationship all over again, or you keep telling yourself things are going to get better when you know instinctively they're not. Now people are capable of changing. I've seen dramatic changes in people in my life, so change is possible. You can go from having a very difficult relationship to a wonderful one if two people can really communicate with each other and are graceful and understanding with one another. But if there is no grace or no understanding, and if there's a lack of communication, then it becomes a super big challenge. So I'm going to read what it says here to you. It's very important. It says, let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. Now, what does it mean when it says a relationship that doesn't serve you? Well, the whole point of investing time and effort and energy into a partner in a relationship, if we take it from a romantic point of view for a second, they're supposed to be supporting you, encouraging you, on your side. They as my acting coach used to say, you want friends who'd carry you down Santa Monica Boulevard, celebrating you, appreciating you. That's the kind of people that you deserve. So if you're not, that's what, when it says, that serve you, it doesn't mean they're in service to you. It means, obviously, if you're not getting any, if you're in a relationship and it's not helping you, and it's not encouraging you, and it's not helping you, uplift you, or help you feel good, then why are you in it? Now, ultimately, I should clarify here that it really is up to us individually to be happy. So it's not a question of expecting other people to make you happy, because you have to figure that part out yourself and what you want to do with your life. That's not someone else's responsibility. But you should have a partner that supports what you're doing, is encouraging, and doesn't have other agendas, is on your team. And as it says then, if you're people who are, toxic speaks for itself. People who are selfish and have other agendas. But it also says unavailable or toxic people. Now, what is unavailable? A person can be emotionally unavailable. They can be unavailable and physically unavailable. They can be mentally unavailable. Like when you're with them, they're just on their phone all the time, but they're always thinking about something else. They're there physically, but not mentally. And those are the people that find some relationships and they have poor communication, and the physical side of the relationship is not there anymore. That's a big challenge. And then obviously emotionally available, where somebody is there with you and they're available mentally and physically, but they're not emotionally available, which is a very, very painful, difficult thing to deal with. So basically this is saying you don't deserve to have toxic people or unavailable people in your life. Whatever a person's reason is for being unavailable, that's not your job to fix it. That's their job to heal their own wounds and figure their stuff out. It's not your job to fix them. I've just repeated that twice. I'm going to say it again. It's not your job to fix them. I said that 3 times on purpose because it's something that we all need to learn. I've learned it the hard way. I'm sure you some of you have experienced the same thing as well. Sooner or later, we have to realize that we cannot change people to suit what we would like or what we would hope for. People have to do that work themselves. So as it goes on, the card says, I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning, let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be, what does it say? You deserve to be treasured. I love that word. I'm glad I struggled with that, with my vision in the light here. But I'm glad I struggled with it because it's a very, very important word I'm going to come back to. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. That's exactly what it is treasured, to be appreciated, to be like if someone would say to me, hey Hugh, what would the like number one thing be in a relationship? Well, for me now, on a checklist of most important, one of the things is I want somebody to appreciate, like, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Like, because it's something that I'm like that with a lot of people actually in just life, not necessarily in relationships, friendships. Especially I treat people like they're the best thing since sliced bread. When I love somebody, you will feel it. So I want to be in a relationship with somebody who looks at me and goes, you're amazing. You're the bee's knees. You're the best thing since sliced bread. And I don't mean that in an unrealistic way. I mean it just genuinely, the person gets you and they appreciate you and they see you. And now I'm sounding like Avatar, I see you. But there's something very powerful about that, very clever writing by James Cameron, because it's very true. If you love somebody, you really see them. You don't just see them standing there in front of you, but you see their potential. You see all their energy. You feel the greatness of them, and that's appreciating somebody. And so that's what I want. I would really like somebody who really appreciates me. Not like, oh, you're all right. No, thank you. Somebody who gets it and appreciates it, because I think that is a foundational thing. And if you have two people who see each other that way, you're off to the races. Now, of course, there's many other things in relationships that need to be, taken care of, and over time they become challenges in different ways as people naturally change. But communication is another thing for me that's super important. I need somebody who can communicate easily. I don't want to be, fighting with people. It's such a waste of energy. If somebody has an issue, just let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. And there's nothing that cannot be solved. I've always been a believer in this. There's nothing that cannot be solved if two people are willing to gracefully talk to one another and open up to one another. If one person is not willing to communicate, or one person is not willing to be vulnerable and open up, you're going to have a problem. So that's what I'm looking for. And I'm saying this to you now, not as an advertisement. Hey, by the way, internet, this is what I'm looking for. But I'm using it as an example because everything I'm saying is a healthy relationship where people have appreciation for one another, where they communicate with one another. That's what we all deserve. And as I've mentioned to you before, recently I've seen two friends of mine fall in love, and it's just so wonderful and inspiring, and it just warms my heart when you see two people coming together and they just are such a good fit for each other, and they support each other, and they care about each other, and they solve issues that they run into with each other, and it's beautiful to see. So surrender toxic relationships. Unhealthy, to be absolutely clear. Surrender unhealthy relationships. Now, I'm just going to say this to you before I finish this episode. It's so important where, my teacher used to talk about this in acting class as well, where you lay your head down at night. If you're going home to a relationship and you're getting, laying down at night with that person, if there's trouble in that relationship, then you're going home to trouble, and before you sleep, that's what you're, surrounding yourself with, this unhealthy, toxic relationship. And it really does affect you, and it changes your perspective on things, and it changes your mood, and it saps your energy. And so when you take unhealthy relationships out of your life, even though it can be quite difficult at times, it's literally like, it's such a relief, and you feel like it's a whole new world. And that's why it's so important, and it's such a powerful idea to surrender unhealthy relationships. Easier said than done. I totally get it. Been there, bought the t-shirt, as I'm sure many of you had as well. So My friends, I hope you got some inspiration and some food for thought from this card and my conversation about it. And I will be back for another episode tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow. Boom!